Okay, and here we are, ready to take off. Without any more babbling, let's go.
Welcome to the Takeoff and Basic Handling Training Flight. Today, you're taking the A-10C up for a spin. In this lesson, we'll perform a standard takeoff followed by some basic maneuvers at medium altitude. Press the spacebar key when you are ready to begin. Things will happen rather quickly once you begin to roll, so let's review the takeoff sequence. After a final check of the instruments, you'll begin to roll at max engine power. Your main focus will be on using nose wheel steering to maintain the aircraft on runway center during the roll. Once the rudders become effective above 50 knots, you will disengage nose wheel steering. At 120 knots, begin to raise the nose by gently pulling back on the stick and setting a pitch angle of 10 degrees on the ADI. This will be a safety critical element of takeoff. Pulling up too fast can lead to striking the aircraft's tail on the runway or lifting off with too much angle of attack, leading to a stall and possible crash. Once the aircraft is safely airborne and climbing, raise the landing gear and flaps. Accelerate to 180 knots and maintain the speed in the climb to altitude.
Okay.
Prior to starting the takeoff roll, a number of final checks are performed to ensure the aircraft's safe operation. Ensure the anti-skid switch is set to on. If not already done, turn on pitot tube heating on the environmental control panel. Now hold down the wheel brakes by pressing and holding the W key and increase throttle to 85% core RPM. Monitor your flight and engine instruments for any abnormalities. Look around the cockpit and check the caution lights panel to ensure no malfunctions are reported. Press the spacebar key to proceed once everything checks out.
Okay, wheel brakes, check. Throttle 80%. Is that an 80%? Okay, that's an 80%. Check. Now warning lights that I can see. Let's do the owl. No mices. No mices. Okay. I guess we're ready. Oh fuck, I'm scared. This is actually very horrible. The steering thing is with pedals. It's just let's go.
You are now ready for takeoff.
No, I'm not.
Take a note of your current heading as you will maintain this after takeoff.
What's
To
my
begin the
current
roll,
heading?
release the wheel brakes and advance the throttles to
My
max.
current heading's 29. Okay, 29. 290. Release the wheel brakes and advance the throttle to max. Oh shit, here we go. Okay, no one's gonna be left under me, no. Okay, here we go. Release the brakes, throttle
Use
full.
careful nose wheel steering commands to keep the aircraft running straight down the center of the runway.
Careful, yeah, careful.
Press the HOTAS
Why
pinky
careful
button
is
or
this?
insert to disable nose wheel steering. Gently pull back on the stick to raise the nose to 10 degrees pitch on the ADI and hold it.
10, we need 10, we need 10. Come on.
Maintain 10 degrees of pitch. Raise
This
the
is
landing
5.
gear by pressing G and the flaps by pressing left shift plus F. The landing gear horn will sound while the landing gear is in transition.
We're in the air. This
Adjust
actually
your pitch angle to
went
maintain
well.
180 knots indicated airspeed in the climb, and check the vertical velocity indicator to monitor your rate of climb. Your desired rate of climb will depend on a number of factors, including the aircraft weight, range, and altitude of the steer point. However, 180 knots indicated airspeed is a good average climb speed. Maintain a heading of 300 degrees and 180 knots. Level out at 5,000 feet. Scan your instruments vertically from the HUD down to the ADI and HSI, and then horizontally across the front dash from the airspeed indicator to the altimeter and vertical velocity indicator.
Level out at 5,000. More throttle. Moving too slow.
Approaching 5,000 feet, let's level out here. We'll pick up some airspeed and max engine power. Flying over water can be disorienting, so let's turn inland. Turn right to 040.
Zero.
Watch your altitude. Maintain 5,000 feet.
I'm doing my best here, come on. We're approaching 40. Okay, we're too high.
Let's talk a bit about airspeed. While you may want to fly at maximum speed to get where you're going as fast as possible, you have to keep in mind fuel consumption and designated times of arrival. As such, you will generally fly at speeds less than maximum and preferably close to your cruise speed, which is the most efficient speed for your current aircraft payload and altitude. Let's try to decelerate. There are a number of ways you can reduce airspeed, including reducing engine RPM, opening the speed brakes, and pitching the nose up the climb. For now, let's simply reduce engine power. Pull the throttles back and watch the airspeed indications on the HUD and front dash begin to decrease.
It's decreasing. It's the number that says now 300. Counting down to 99, 298. What speed does this guy want? He doesn't tell me anything. It's slow really fast.
Good. Now let's accelerate by advancing the throttles back to max.
Yeah. You want to have the specific number. On the script, wanted to have a specific number. Is that a small airfield? No, that's not actually small at all. It's a pretty big airfield.
Now let's perform a climb.
It just
Take the
looks
nose up
small
to
from
20
up
degrees
here.
of pitch by referencing the ADI on the front dash. Climb to 12,000 feet.
20 degrees and 12,000 feet. Check. That's a pretty high climb.
Watch the altitude and airspeed readings on the HUD and instrument panel. Take note of the altitude increasing and airspeed decreasing. check the VVI to monitor your rate of climb. It's critical to maintain control of your airspeed or you will quickly approach a stall
Check
scenario.
the VVI.
If
You
your
haven't
airspeed
told
begins
me
to fall below
what the
160
fuck
knots,
is VVI.
reduce
How
your
can I
climb
check
rate
that
by
fucking
lowering the
ass?
nose to a smaller pitch angle. The A-10 does not have a very high thrust-to-weight ratio, so cannot zoom climb like fighter jets. However, what the Hog lacks in engine power, it makes up for in engine durability and endurance. Level out at 12,000 feet.
Yeah, I know.
The A-10 service ceiling is 45,000 feet. However, given the nature of the A-10 design and function, you are likely to spend most of your time in altitudes below 25,000 feet. Watch your altitude. The next maintain 12,000 feet. Before we begin, keep in mind a couple of things. Although we are 12,000 feet above sea level, the surface of the Earth can be a lot closer, so we'll only drop about 5,000 feet and recover at 7,000. Also, our speed will increase rapidly in the dive, and we need to be careful not to overspeed the aircraft. Overspeeding is highly dangerous and can lead to catastrophic structural failure. Pull the throttle back and push the stick forward to make your pitch 20 degrees nose down. Watch your altitude decrease and speed increase as you dive. Recover at 7,000 feet. Coming up on 7,000 feet, level out.
I went under. Is that bad? I accidentally. I'm gonna rise up to 7,000.
For our last maneuver of the day, we'll try a level turn. Turning is not difficult, but turning well does require attentiveness and coordination. The goal of a level turn is to complete the maneuver with minimal deviation in speed and altitude from your initial conditions. A level turn will consist of initial roll input on the stick, followed by a slight pull and rudder input into the turn to maintain altitude and minimize side slip as indicated by the slip ball on the ADI. However, too much input on either the stick or rudder will quickly increase drag and angle of attack, leading to a drastic loss of speed and potential loss of control. We'll perform a 360-degree left turn from a heading of 040 at 7,000 feet and 280 knots. Go ahead and set the jet to these initial conditions.
Okay. Heading. Oh. Well, let me move it to the. Okay. 7,200. We'll go a little bit lower.
Set.
Again,
Stabilize at this speed and altitude before starting the turn. Remember, try to maintain the airspeed and altitude throughout the turn. Use the total velocity vector on the HUD to maintain altitude, and step on the ADI ball using the rudder to minimize side slip. Begin when ready.
Okay, we're turning. Maintain altitude. Maintain speed. Maintain altitude. fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Everything's going to fuck. This is actually very hard. This is a lot harder than it looks like. Because I have to control the turn with my stick while controlling the altitude with my pedals, with my throttle. So it's very easy to lose control. There's lots of coordination and so on. I don't even know at the moment if I have all the... the speed is good. A little bit slow perhaps. Altitude is a little bit high. We'll take it down a couple notch. Just a little bit more and we will be at the required heading. Ah, fuck, the speed has risen too high. Let's brake up a little bit. Oh shit, I panicked. Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck. I panicked, I thought that we were already on 04.
Well done.
Okay.
We will end our training flight here.
Okay, that was hard. I'm sweating here. This overall flying thing is a lot harder than it seems. Than it looks like, at least now. And I should tell you that I am flying on full simulation settings with this game. Everything is at full. Only some little things like labels and simplified radio and so on are on game settings, but it's like 90% full simulation. Everything about avionics and fly and everything like that is on full simulation. Don't have any guns. Shame. Okay. See you again on another mission. We will be trying to land on next mission, I believe. No, we're trying to navigate with using the map over here. Okay, thanks for watching.